Nigeria is boiling at the moment. Tinubu and his senators are on the run now because Nigerians have already come for them. Tinubu is in serious trouble as Nigerians have finally been pushed to war and they have risen up to face their fear. They have risen up to face the people that have been putting pressure on them and the people in power that have been giving them tough time as far as this country issue is concerned. Since they said they want to hide under the umbrella of democracy and be punishing Nigerians, since they said they don't want the vote of the people to count again, the people are not even ready to listen to Peter Obi again. Both obedient APC followers, PDP followers, and other party followers, they have put forces together, and this is coming to Bola Ahmed Tinubu now. Look at what is going on obedient. Nigerians are already demanding for their country, so I would like us to stay connected to the end of this video. The video is already circulating online. The protest is already coming. Nigerians are already demanding for their country. If you can share this video, ensure you share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can't share it, just like it as you're watching it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. But I would like us to stay connected as I will show you the full video. Stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV. For those of you coming across the channel for the very first time, ensure you click the registration button appearing on your video screen and do well to click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily notify you. Nigeria is going to an extreme end at the moment. A lot of this is happening to Nigeria at the moment because it is not only the economic crisis issue. A lot of things is going on in this country. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his senators and his OCOs, the camp of Bola Tinubu, are in serious trouble and they are in serious panic now because they know that what Nigerians are embarking themselves on now, if they can do it successfully, they are going to put them out of power, that they are going to put them out of space. So that is what is happening now. You know, they conducted the election and it is very obvious that a lot of people did not put their vote and their support for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But with everything, these people maneuver their way, they plan with INEC and all of that. INEC allocated vote for them and all of that. They allocated vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they allocated vote for Atiku, and they even allocate vote for Peter Obi himself. They table it to the extent that they put Peter Obi in the third place so that Peter Obi will not have strong force to tackle the person that they put in the first place, because they know that it will be very difficult for Atiku Abubakar to tackle Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And even to the Supreme Court level and all of that, the justices work for APC. After NEC work for APC, the legislature, the police, everything work for APC, and even APC still even use thugs in the election. It is very obvious, and the video circulated online and all of that. They didn't stop there. Even the Supreme Court, after they said Obi should go to court, the Supreme Court still even go for APC. They work for APC. That shows that APC is trying to hijack every portion of the country. They are trying to hijack every area of the country. But Nigerians have already pulled up now. They said enough is enough, that they want their country back. That is what is happening now. Nigerians are already coming together and gathering the momentum. They said enough is enough, that they want their country back, both in the diaspora, Nigerians in the diaspora, Nigerians in Nigeria, and all of that. Enough of all these shenanigans that all these people are doing. How INEC is selling the vote of the people. INEC is not allowing the vote of the people to count in the country again. And INEC is working for APC. Mama Yakubu is working for APC, selling political offices of the country or the federation to APC, and is putting APC, is strategizing them into political offices to the extent that APC is having a strong hold in this country. They are having a strong cabal in this country at the moment. So that is what is going on. When Nigerians have already put together, they said no, that this thing needs to stop. If they really want things to work in the country, enough of all these things. You will see everything in this video. If you can share this video, ensure you share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can't share it as you're watching, just like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. It is not only obedience that are pulling forces. Now I don't mean that it's only obedience that are pulling forces. They would have said that, oh, they want Peter Obi, their principal, to be in office and all of that. Now it is obedience, APC supporters themselves, PDP supporters, and all the other party supporters. This is Nigeria. Nigerians are pulling forces together. They said enough is enough. All agents are pulling forces together. They said Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot continue with everything that is happening in this country. They said they want a revolution. That is what is happening at the moment. It is not only for the youth alone. It is not only for the adults. It is for the youth, the adult, men, female, dad, mom, grandma, and even ancestors. All of them are pulling forces together. They said enough is enough because they see the hardship of the country and they see where the country is headed little. These people will share Nigeria money as if that is not enough. They will borrow money from international communities and they will still even share among themselves. They only allocate some more of this money to fix things in Nigeria, to the extent that Nigerian senators can come to public television and begin to say that Nigerian roads are not good. They said the roads are fucking bad, that they want to buy SUV cars for themselves so that the buses and the cars can walk smoothly in the roads of Nigeria. Now tell me, whose responsibility it is to fix the road of Nigeria? The taxes that we are paying in this country, where is it going to? These people are just playing on our intelligence as if Nigerians are just bunch of babus that they don't know their left from their right. They think we did not know our right as far as this country is concerned. Now they take the money of Nigeria, they share it among themselves, and they refuse to fix what they're supposed to fix in the country, to the extent that they are even having the countries to come out and allocating budgets for themselves, that they want to use it to buy stuff for themselves just for their own selfish interest, to live their luxurious life. Now Nigerians are tired of it. Both people that voted for Tinubu and those people that don't vote for Tinubu, those people that haven't voted for Tinubu, they are saying that had I known and all of that. That is the word that is trending at the moment. So I would like guys to stay connected to the end of this video to see what is going on. You will hear everything yourself. Nigeria is about to make a U-turn. You will see everything. Nigerians are facing the leaders at the moment. Stay connected, obedient. You will see everything. I'm coming back again.
And when I mean militancy here, if you realize that after the election we changed some of our positioning, and we started using revolution now, because that election showed that simple elections can no longer save Nigeria or improve Nigeria's democracy, that people must take their destinies in their hands, and that we deserve or must have a revolution in this country, particularly if we don't want war, because a lot has been done. As you mentioned, this is the most difficult time to be a Nigerian. This country is not safe, and I know people use the word generically, headsman. The way I describe it is that is the metaphor for how people feel about being under siege at this time. So you can divide headsmen into political headsmen, economic headsmen, people who are raping the economy, who are destroying the country, destroying the country's democracy. And when it was not headsmen, they used to be called unknown gunmen. Before it was that people who were kidnapping were referred to as Niger Delta militants, regardless of where they were carried out. I think there was a time Niger Delta militants apparently went to Kaduna to kidnap the secretary to the government in Kaduna State, one high official, and drove the person to Warri. So, but now we're using headsmen. But the truth is that this country is not working, and people who are leaders of this country are incompetent, they are wicked, and they are not willing to change their ways. And they've shown clearly during the last election that they cannot even accept democratic change. They cannot allow free and fair elections to happen. They allocate votes to themselves. And there's hunger, starvation, and insecurity in the land. Government has failed. Nigeria is failed as a state, and until we take that necessary big step, not next level, Nigeria will not attain its potential. And that's why we are changing our appearances, and we are changing our tone, and we are urging and mobilizing people around Nigeria to come together and do it one time. We are mobilizing people across the country. We're having a conversation, and a date will be released as to when the first will happen in the series of matches that will eventually lead to what is our expectation, that this country will return to its owners, the people, no longer being managed by the owners of Nigeria, who have decided that our lives don't matter, and that when we take decisions, it doesn't matter. They decide what to decide for the country. So it's up to them to decide when this will be over. But it's up to us to decide when enough is enough, and we've reached that point. We've reached a breaking point.
At the end of the day, you got about 32,593 votes. Now, is this an expression of frustration with the outcome of that election? What you could not get through the ballot box, now you want to mobilize people to the streets to get it, because at that time you kept saying that, look, the people in government in Nigeria have failed the people, and you had a slogan, to take the country back.
Yes.
So the ballot box failed you. Now you want to take the country back through the streets. Is that the agenda?
No, I'm not. It would be wrong to say that this frustration. All of us are frustrated with Nigeria. I ran in the election, and they allocated some votes to me. You know, there was no election. Yes, there was no election. Everybody knows that. That's the reason why we're stepping up now. That it is clear that voting is no longer going to solve the problem in Nigeria. So taking it back at that time is still taking it back now, but stepping it up to make sure that there's an urgency attached to it, because nobody's safe in this country anymore. Nobody's got jobs, nobody can feed, nobody has hospitals to go to, nobody can sleep at night, you know, without your two eyes open. This is the worst place to live in the world today. It's very sad, but we cannot continue to lament. We can't continue to agonize. We have to organize. You know, I brought out a lot of ideas during the election that they stole, but couldn't implement. That's why we are in this mess now.
Yeah, but what would you like to see? Not as a government advisor, as a citizen of Nigeria.
I'm not here to tell you what I want to see. I'm telling you what I want to do.
There needs to be solution.
The solution is for us to have a revolution. That's the solution right now. That's what I'm here to discuss. I'm not here to. We're not going back to the campaign. We've campaigned. We've tried our best. They didn't allow elections to hold. Everybody has come to a conclusion that there was no election. The elections were badly mismanaged, and what you just did is that people went to vote at the polling units. They moved the elections to collation centers and allocated themselves votes.
Well, what you are trying to do,
yes,
that's call out the people onto the streets.
Yes. To what end? What is the ultimate purpose?
The ultimate end is
the revolution has a purpose. What is the purpose?
Is for the people to take back their country and take back their democracy.
And what would that look like?
What would it look like?
Yes.
When it happens? You know.
Well, we have seen it in Sudan. Yes. We have seen it in Algeria. We have seen it in Egypt. We've seen the Arab Spring.
Yes.
We've seen the Occupy movement elsewhere. I guess that's what you are trying to do. Now, it may have worked in other places. How optimistic are you that Nigerians will follow you and go to the streets? Because if you are able to achieve the momentum that we saw in Algeria, Sudan, Arab Spring, and the Occupy movement, maybe you'll be able to make a difference. You think Nigerians will come onto the streets?
Nigerians have been coming onto the street. In fact, in 2012, Nigeria had the biggest Occupy movement in the world when Occupy was the main thing. So, but we failed at that time because there was no proper planning, I would say, or an anticipation of where it should go. Because even revolutions deserve to be macromanaged after the success of the revolution. And that's where we are different in this case. The person who is sitting in front of you has tried to be president of Nigeria. That means I have an agenda in place. I have people I can work with, and people are working with us, and people are hearing us all over the world. They have come to the conclusion that enough is enough. And with regards to whether Nigerians will follow me or not, that is not what I'm here to preach. I'm here to say this is what we want. And I'm sure that there are a lot of Nigerians out there, millions of Nigerians who are frustrated at this point, who no longer have confidence in our leadership, in the leadership of this country, and they want a different country. And we're here to give life to that. And we're calling on all of them, wherever they may be, that we better do this one time so that we don't have to do it in pieces, because we find ourselves in pieces the way things are going on. Nigeria is on the precipice. So to avoid war, let's go for a revolution. Instead of going for a prolonged war, let's go for one-day action that will save our country. And that's what I'm preaching. That's what I'm here to talk about. And I'll continue to talk about until we achieve it.
No, I ask you the question advisedly, because, in Nigeria, activism, yes, is one thing, but being able to mobilize the people is another. When you try to mobilize people in Nigeria, they throw up questions about ethnicity, about motive, about, religion. Right? So what strategy do you have in place? Or are you just doing this alone? Or you have some other allies who are buying into your narrative and who truly believe, either in the political class or the professional class, that the time has come, truly, as SOWORE is insisting, to take back Nigeria?
Doc, you know me for close to 30 years. And I was one of the student leaders in this country that mobilized against the military. At times we had over 1 million people on the streets of Lagos that drove the military out of power. I'm not talking about just one military general. Started from Babangida, we drove him away. Shonekan came, not military, but a stopgap measure. We drove him away in 82 days. We stayed on the streets in this Lagos and all over the country for 82 days. Abacha came, one of the worst military generals in terms of repression. We took him out. So this is not new. I'm not a newbie in the business. But I'm not going to be coming on TV to be telling you strategies about a revolution. That would be stupid of me to do that. But I'm telling you that people all over this country and Nigerians all over the world have gotten to a point of no return, and we would have to make the sacrifices. I'm telling you, we can be sitting here over analyzing the issue and paralyzing ourselves with analysis about religion, about ethnicity. These things are real, but they will not stand in the way of the revolution that is coming, because hunger don't know ethnicity, insecurity don't know religion, and every other cleavages or division or things that divide us they were created by the same objective conditions that we are going to fight against. Because at the end, when Nigeria becomes a better place, it won't matter where you come from.
But what would you say to those who allege that the political killings are really exaggerated and that they're politically motivated to, make this government look bad?
So somebody is going to tell you that Boko Haram is exaggerated, or the banditry is exaggerated, or the fact that you can't travel from Lagos to Ore without a kidnapper will lay you on the road, or the fact that somebody has been detained and courts have asked them to be released and we refuse and reject court position is exaggerated. The country is falling apart. Why are we deceiving ourselves?
Are you unpatriotic, and are you afraid that, now that you are calling for a revolution and you are saying you will move people to the streets, you will become a subject of special interest for the security agencies who may decide to just move against you? Because you are challenging the system.
I've been a subject of special interest for 30 years. I became a subject of special interest at the University of Lagos since 1992, and eventually 1993. It depends on where the pendulum is swinging, but I don't think there's never been a time in my life in the last 30 years I was not subject of special interest. My name had been permanently put at the airport as a security risk to this nation for 30 years. There's no point wasting our time discussing whether security agencies are interested in my views or position. They've always known me to be like this. I've been consistent like this, and I'm not worried about how they think about me. I'm worried about how we can save this country and how we can even save the security agencies themselves, because it's obvious that they too are unsafe. They are unable to carry out their activities due to also the handicaps brought upon their work by terrible leadership in the country. You've reached a point in this country where the Chief of Army Staff says that the reason they can't defeat Boko Haram is because soldiers are poorly motivated, and the soldiers are saying, no, you are the one who refused to equip us because of corruption at the highest levels of government. So, and the issue of patriotism, I don't waste time on discussing patriotism. It's a jargon that leaders use as it suits their own agenda. The person who is patriotic in a nation is a person who wants the nation to function, not people who are dragging down the nation and preventing the country from attaining its potential. Those are the unpatriotic people. So, but I don't want to waste my time discussing who's a patriot.
So we have images there of you addressing the march yesterday in Maryland. Can you tell us more about that?
I was there before yesterday. So we had a march, and there was a rehearsal to actually launch our orange hat and to let people know that we'll be doing several other things the next few days, weeks, and months to come until we achieve our total objectives of ensuring that there's first revolutionary consciousness and a physical revolution in this country, because we need it. And like I said, you don't have to worry about me now. You should worry about the country.
Well, you've been on the front line of activism for 30 years, as you've said.
Yes.
So you are aware of the criticism that's made of Nigerians, that Nigerians can be quite resigned, even in the face of poor governance, social issues, lack of infrastructure, just a whole gamut of disasters. We tend to just take a very resigned, God day position. What is your view of this, and how do you plan to galvanize people?
Well, it is true, but I'm also coming with experience in doing some of these things. You should also accept that Nigerians haven't had the kind of leadership in the revolutionary sector to mobilize them. There are a lot of young people who would rather have a better country than sit around and be watching, a reality TV show that knobs them, or spend their time, watching teams playing soccer that have no bearing on their lives. If you don't provide the leadership, then you should not be blaming a complacent citizen. People can be complacent when they don't have the right motivation to do work. But there's also a case to be made of the fact that over these years they've also destroyed and dehumanized our people so well or so much that people don't even know what they're entitled to as citizens. But it was the same in Sudan. They rose one day. It was a lady, or a number of ladies that started it in Sudan, and people criticized them. They said, how can women lead a revolution? And that was why they were successful, because they just thought, this is just women. After a while, they get tired. The same thing that happened in Nigeria, where I think they had an 82-year-old leader that has been around forever. He was sick. Nobody ever saw him, but he kept running for election from hiding. And people got tired of it. It has to be that people are tired and they step out of whatever complacency or complacent situations there, or fear. They overcome their fear. Step out one time. Look, Shiites, the Shiites in Abuja.
The Islamic movement
yes,
of
the
Nigeria.
Islamic movement of Nigeria. One day decided that because their leaders were detained and judgments had been given for them to be released, or orders, and the government did not release. They went to the National Assembly. If they had 1 million of them, they probably would have taken over the National Assembly that day and changed the narrative about, popular power. So I'm not saying that I'm going to...
As was the case in Hong Kong.
Yes. So Hong Kong also did it. And all these things were carried out by the same young people who people said were complacent in those countries. In fact, Sudan, as a matter of fact, was a surprise to everyone, because nobody thought, including the president of Sudan, that a day will come that he will find himself in prison. And, in a revolution that was planned, executed by women. I have been talking about revolution now. As soon as the elections were over, you can go and check my Twitter handle, and you'll have seen that this has been my posture and position. I'm a member of AAC. I'm the founder of AAC. But to address your position on whether others will accept this because it has a logo of AAC, no, you don't have to wear the red berets. The orange berets because of the revolution. Now you can come with your own logo on it. It's just a symbol of the kind of resistance we have at this time. And to address also your issue about Justice Young, we'll be very, very clear that that was a miscarriage of justice.
It is pointless chasing a rat when your house is on fire. Nigeria needs a revolution or else. Nigerians must understand that unless something drastic happens, we cannot have elections that are won on the basis of ideas. As things stand in Nigeria today, our successive governments have destroyed the basis for any progressive politics. You cannot have a country where young people who are brilliant, who have ideas, are told to run for councillors, while people with antiquated ideas are recommended to be presidential candidates. And even they become president. That's why the country is the way it is today. Unless a revolution happens in this country, same way they had in Sudan, probably in Nigeria, it's going to be difficult to have free and fair elections. I am saying it so that we're not under any illusion that somehow, if we continue to talk, it is not a battle of wits, that the democratic space will open for us to have a country where good people, great ideas can lead the country. In Nigeria, where just 5 people will be richer than 200 million people, call it work. In Nigeria, where your NEPA bill is greater than your house rent, call it work. To the skeptics who say Nigerians are too apathetic and divided to rise up for a revolution or up to a revolution, I say this: hunger doesn't know ethnicity, insecurity doesn't know religion, and when Nigeria becomes a better place, it won't matter where you come from.
Problem of Nigeria rests clearly on leadership. It is bad leadership that is the problem of Africa. It has nothing to do with colonialism. We were colonized years ago. Today, it is African leaders that have turned Africa into a gigantic criminal enterprise. And I'll give you an example. Let me use this university. Let me use this university to give you an example of the problem we face in our country. This university, if you're employed here, you work hard for several years to be a professor. And if you're a professor in this university, your salary is 400,000 naira. And if they pay you without spending your money for 30 years, your salary will amount to 144 million, which is not up to what we used to buy a car for a legislator in Nigeria. That is the problem of Nigeria. That is the problem of Nigeria. We can afford to do that with less than 10%. So it's squarely on our destiny. So I thank you for being part of this crusade. I'm sure our governor, every other person, we are part of this crusade. We must dismantle this criminality. That is the only way it can work. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can hear what SOWORE said in this very video, and you can hear what Peter Obi himself said. He said we need to dismantle this criminality. We need to dismantle and eradicate the criminality level of Nigeria. What Nigerian politicians are doing, these people will come out and they will tell the people that the people should be managing their life. They will pretend as if they are aware of the economic crisis and all of that. They will pretend as if they're feeling it, but it is these same people that will come out to allocate budget and they will still knife the money among themselves. These people are not feeling the pain of the masses. The masses cannot even afford to eat 2 square meals again. There are inflation in the country. There are a lot of things going wrong in the country. People cannot afford to buy food in the country again, and people cannot afford a good life as far as this country is concerned. It is the same guy in Nassau Rock that removed subsidy and did sort of things, and yet it did not increase minimum wages for the workers and all of that. TUC, NLC are striking, they are protesting and all of that, but nothing is being done as far as this country is concerned. But mind you, the senators are receiving their allowances, they are receiving their budgets, salaries are not being paid to common workers in the country. But the senators, the House of Rep, and all of that, they are enjoying themselves. They are living that luxurious life to the extent that they are even bringing it out to the public that they even want to buy cars for themselves. They want to buy presidential yachts just for the president to live his full luxurious life and all of that. So that is the problem of Nigeria at the moment. And Nigerians have come to the understanding that it is until they come together and they put forces together, that is when they can tackle this criminality. A lot of Nigerians already shouted for revolution. Even those people that did not vote for Peter Obi, those people that voted for Peter Obi because of the election, all of them are now crying out for Peter Obi. They said they want the intelligence of Peter Obi because they used to call Peter Obi a mere trader before that. There's nothing a trader know about the economy of Nigeria. They said Tinubu built Lagos, that they want to give that Tinubu a trial, a chance. You know, those people that voted for Tinubu, they feel that voted for Tinubu, they come up with a lot of reasons that is why they want to vote for Tinubu, that they believe that he built Lagos and they believe they have the capacity of building Nigeria as a whole. They said it was Tinubu that brought Buhari, that brought disaster on Nigeria. They said it is that same Tinubu that can know how he will fix Nigeria. So they said they should give Tinubu a chance. And some works on tribalism and some works on ethnicity, some works on religiosity. So a lot of things came up in course of the campaign and in course of the election. Even the politicians used the tribalistic weapon and even the religious weapon to cause fight between the common men, the masses, and all of that. So that was what happened in course of the election. But finally, Tinubu finally found his way into the Aso Rock. Now, what is this man doing? That is the question that a lot of Nigerians are asking. This man said he is going to make sure that things that hike up in times of Buhari will go down. But it is very obvious now that a lot of things that hike up in course of Buhari regime, they are even ×7 in their price and all of that. There is high inflation in price of commodity and all of that as far as Nigeria is concerned now. And it has fit people to the brim to the extent that people are already suffocating in this country. They can't even afford to live a good life again. The kind of life they're living before, the average life that people are living before, they can't even live it again. People cannot afford 2 square meals. Now a lot of people are pulling for it. They said they want revolution to happen in Nigeria. That if not for revolution, nothing will be done. These people will keep doing the shenanigans that they know how to do in the Aso Rock chamber. And INEC as a whole, Mahmoud Yakubu, have the full grant and the full audacity to be sending the votes of Nigeria out. He will never allow the vote of the masses to stand as the voice of the masses again. He never allowed the vote of the masses to be their voice again. Mahmoud Yakubu never allowed the voice of the masses to be heard again. He's now allocating the vote of the masses to APC. He's now selling their votes out. He's allocating political offices. Mahmoud Yakubu is the orchestrator of the problem of Nigerian democracy at the moment. And people are thereby tired of all this whole thing. They said enough must come come to all this rascality and all of that. Some people say Peter Obi should come in first and share his idea with Bola Ahmed Tinubu regarding nation building and economic refurbishment and all of that. But a lot of obedience are put to their Twitter handle and different social media platforms. They said Peter Obi must not have anything to do with Tinubu, since Tinubu claimed the mandate that did not belong to him and he believes that he can fix Nigeria, that he should be fixing it. Had it been that Tinubu won Peter Obi in a ground floor, in a normal floor, Peter Obi would be winning to even share his idea of economic upbringing with him and all of that. But Tinubu stole the mandate and it is obvious and all of that. And this same Tinubu have the pride as far as APC is concerned. Some APC shifting came out some days ago. They analyze a lot of things regarding what Tinubu and the decisions that Tinubu is making in the Asolo chamber. They say if Tinubu wants to make his own decision, he never seek for people's opinion. He makes his decision anxiously and he makes his decision with a lot of pride in him because he believes that he is Mr. Know All. He believes that he knows everything, he understands everything, and he knows where everything is going to fall. So that is what is happening at the moment. Even some APC people, they are tired of Bola Ahmed Tinubu because what he's doing at the moment is only sharing the idea between him and his own cabals alone. That is what is going on. So Nigerians are tired of this whole thing, and that is what Peter Obi said in this very video. He said it is until Nigeria rise up to stop this rascality, and that is what a lot of Nigerians are doing. It is until Nigerians rise up to stop this criminality that the politicians have bestowed upon Nigeria. APC is hijacking everywhere. They hijack the legislature arm of government, they hijack the judicial arm of government, and they even occupy the executive arm. Nothing is working in the country again. So I would like guys to drop your opinion in the comment section on this video. Do you really think revolution will work in South in Nigeria? Do you really think the revolution can even take place? Drop your opinion in the comment section on this video. SOWORE is campaigning for revolution at the moment. Do you really think Nigerians can come up with a unanimous decision and decide and unite together for us and remove all the tribalism and ethnicity and religiosity aspect and all of that, the differences in their religiosity and all of that? If they can put it together, do you think this can really work out in Nigeria as a whole? Do you think things can work out with the help of evolution and all of that? Drop a opinion in the comment section on this video as I'm going to get another for you. Ensure you follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, he pastor for LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.